Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. Though many Nigerians are really expectant that the future of this country will be brighter than expected and will be redeemed from whatever situation we found ourselves right now. But currently, it seems as if we are still in a ship that is embarking on a very confused, journey because of what is happening in the country. Now, why am I saying all of this? It's traceable to what the governor of Katsina State just said about the reaction of the presidency in respect to the issue of ranching in a state. A huge amount of money has been released, amounting to 6.25 billion naira. And they're already saying that 5 billion is already in their coffers. Now, the big question is, why were we then arguing the issue of ban on open grazing by the southern governors? The governor of Benue State has decided to call out the president and has placed a lot of things before him. You will see what his request is. But before we give you details of all of that, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. According to the news, Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State has said it was the height of deceit and hypocrisy for the federal government to approve 6.25 billion for ranching in Katsina State and release 5 billion naira, while same government is creating cattle routes and encouraging open grazing in other states of the Federation. Governor Tom, who spoke at Makurdi Airport, was reacting to the revelation by Governor Bello Masari at the commissioning of the Zube Water Project in Dotsima, Katsina State. Masari had said that Mr. President has graciously approved 6.25 billion naira for ranch development purposes in Katsina State, out of which 5 billion naira is in the account of the state government. Governor Tom insisted that the federal government should apologize to him and extend the same gesture to Benue State by releasing 100 billion naira to Benue State for the establishment of ranching in the state. And according to him, he said, so Mr. President approved 6.25 billion naira for ranching in Katsina State. What kind of hypocrisy is this? Are we a serious country at all? If the president would say that the Attorney General of the Federation should ensure the relocation of those who have encroached on cattle routes and grazing area to do open grazing, despite the surge in the population from less than 40 million in 1950 to the over 200 million people today, and the same president is encouraging ranching in Katsina State, where he comes from, that's certainly laughable and very hypocritical and deceitful. We need an explanation because it is a shame. Since 2017, we've been on ranching, and of course, you can recall that the governor of Katsina State did say that it is un-Islamic for anybody to talk about open grazing. The prohibition of open grazing is the only thing that will help the country, including the provision for ranching. So if the president has approved 6.5 billion naira for Katsina State, they should also approve 100 billion naira for Benue State with an apology to me. It is not right for the federal government to approve money for ranching in a state and leave others out. And in fact, the governor of the state in his remarks said 5 billion naira has already been remitted to their coffers. So I begin to wonder, where are we headed? Governor Tom, who lamented the level of unbearable poverty and hunger the APC-led federal government has unleashed on Nigerians, said the prophecy of late Fela and Nicola Pokuti of Nigerians suffering and smiling was currently playing out in the country. This has triggered a lot of reactions by Nigerians. But let's first of all, before we read some of the reactions of Nigerians, let's look at this issue, as confusing as it is. right now. Because I could still remember that far back 2016 down to 17 when it became very serious. The issue of Fulani, or let me say herdsmen stroke farmer clashes started. And before we know, in Benue State, the reports coming we got from Benue State, which was not just a story, but something that was very visible to all Nigerians, was the issue of fight killing, such that we started the year, I think 2017 or 2018, started the year on a very bad note, where there was record of not less than close to 100 people were killed by the Fulani herders. And before we know, this same issue, spiral around virtually all the states in Nigeria, especially the Middle East and the Middle Belt, and also the southeastern part of Nigeria, even the southwest, even in the northern part of Nigeria. And then at a point, everybody kind of we're tired of the activities of the Fulani herders, and the resolution was that there should be a ban. These guys can stay back in their states and do whatever they're supposed to do. And it was strongly opposed, not just by anybody. The Fulani herders, they strongly opposed it. Meitiala was on top of it. Magban were on top of it. And some even lawmakers, even the presidency said, hey, it cannot happen. Fairly recently, when the southern governors cannot take it again, they now resolve that there must be a ban on open grazing. And it will be rolled out on the 1st of September. Anyone that is seen with cow in the southern part of Nigeria will have to face the full wrath of the law. And what we heard from the presidency was, hey, that story for the gods. As far as we are concerned, Fulani are also part of Nigeria, and open grazing cannot be swept into under the carpet. For that reason, that Malami should make sure that he opens up all the grazing reserve that has been closed. And that thing keep on making the issue of this ranching, open grazing to be, causing a lot of swift here and there, a lot of rifts, here and there, and all of that. The Meitiala stood on that premise, and they were talking very boldly and all of that. Now, what am I trying to say in essence? If there was a plan to accept the ranching that Nigerians were suggesting, why were we still playing games with the issue of open grazing? Why were we still playing game with the issue of they should be given a chance again to live with the community, when it was very obvious that these guys cannot, accommodate even their host community? Even if the host community accommodated them, at a point, they will always fight back. Look at what happened in Ibaraba. It wasn't traceable to anything except Fulani herdsmen. And the reason was because they were always staying with this guy. They came up with their own side of the story, and their side of the story was that they were also being attacked. Cattle rustling was very strong. Why were we delaying till so many lives have passed before we now start thinking about this issue of ranching? Now look at one state, Katsina, which is incidentally the presidency state. I don't have any problem with that. I've received a sum of 5 billion naira. So what will be given to other states of the federation? Because for me, I feel that if this kind of money was going to be released, it should have been released at once. And there would have been a formal announcement to that effect that, hey, from now henceforth, all Fulani need to return back to their individual state, because we are going to be releasing funds to virtually all the states that have had grazing reserves there, and they will have to abide by the law of their host states and also enjoy the funds that has been released to them. Not to just release to one state. How about the other state? Okay, they must, still observe the issue of open ranching and all. It's high time we look at this country as just not a country for one set of people, but a country for everybody. Correct some of this ill so that at least for once, peace can be restored back to this country. Fulanis are human beings that can adapt to any new policy that is being rolled out by the government. If the government decides today that it is ranching, I tell you the whole day, they won't be loitering around with their cows and causing trouble everywhere. Look at what is happening in terms of economic activities today. Today we are buying five tomatoes for as much as 400 naira. Reason is because of a lot of these things, it's been left unattended to, and it has been causing a lot of issues. But now, all of a sudden, one governor is coming out to tell Nigerians that he has gotten 5 billion. And how about others? Why don't we just handle this problem, as one nation and correct it, and so that we can make headway? Nigerians are tired. The level of hunger currently in the country is unbeatable. I've never seen it before. Right now, things are becoming very, very costly, such that nobody can even tell what the future will look like. I hope that the president have heard the complaint of Benue State governor, and it's not just him alone, virtually all the other states who have accommodated Fulani herdsmen, so that this thing can be curtailed. The issue of entering people's farm, eating up their crop, clashes between Fulani herdsmen, cattle rustling, can be brought to a standstill once and for all. I'd like to leave it there. Go to our comment section. Let us interact. What do you think about this step taken by the president and the reaction of the Benue State government? Do you think he's saying the truth, that it is actually hypocritical?